This year's, well, the current WRC championship, what's your thoughts on it? With the types of cars and the events?
Well, for some surprising reason, I'm the head of Estonian Federation, and I'm a Finn, as you know. And of course, it was our driver, Ottanak, who became the champion last year, 2019. And of course, I would love to take some credit for it, but I can't. And there were quite a few driver changes happened when somewhat surprisingly Ott went to Hyundai, and then sadly Citroën stopped because Ogier left for Toyota, so that deprived us of one of the top factory teams. So in terms of teams, we are not doing well. That we only have now really proper factory teams. We only have Hyundai and Toyota, and of course Toyotas are made in Finland, as you know, by Tommi Mäkinen, and then of course Malcolm Wilson with M Sport, but of course kind of semi works team. So we have very tough top end, a very high level competition, but not very many of them, unfortunately. But I think 2020 will be, because Ogier will pull out all the stops to become the champion for the seventh time, because that is his target.
How can the WRC attract more manufacturers? What do you think? How should they?
I think the motorsport always is suffering the same problem. The cost level is getting very high, because in those my days, if one from a management board wanted like rally, I mean, then rest of the board would say, well, you can have the world championship, because they didn't cost so much. Now, if you propose that you will do world championship, you have to compete for the same funds. Whether do you go to YouTube, do you go to social media, do you go to traditional advertising? So it has to serve the money used for the competition. It has to serve a purpose. So it's a very tough competition between how you are within the factory where you use your money, and people, if they come to motorsport, they must have a good value for their money. And if that's not the case, then the money will go elsewhere. So so either we have to increase visibility of our sport or reduce the cost, or preferably do the both. The problem is the cost. Cost is always running away from us.
The Escort days, were they your favourite days when you won the championship, or do you prefer the days after that?
It's hard to, because I don't want to, in a way, devalue any period in my life. But let's put it this way. Already here this morning, I don't know how many people have come to me and talk about Group B and Ford Escort, but basically people are very nostalgic about that old kind of rallying when we used to go a long way around the country, and there were of course a lot less rules, and it was kind of a more wild. Now it's all very controlled, but of course that's how it has to be. The cost has gone so much higher now, so you need to have a compact events. But of course I'm very lucky that I have lived. Anybody of my age, we saw this free rallying, if I may say so, where you were much more open, less controlled, long events, long recce periods. I mean, we were much more kind of an artist. Now you have to be really professional, and I don't think I could become a champion now if I was competing. It was, I think, easier in my time. So I'm happy that I was born when I was born. Well, I'm not in the European Parliament anymore, but I'm quite busy with the BMW, Goodyear. I still have got some partners, but I do lots of driving. I mean, yesterday I was still in a circuit on a damp circuit. We did some television work in France. And next week I will go to Finland, for ice driving school, where we have really drive BMWs and proper rally stats. So I do a lot of driving, a lot of circuit driving in France with the BMW customers. So I take electronic, the controls off, and then I go sideways like on a gravel, on a tarmac. And so I do a lot of driving, but I mean without any stress, no stopwatch, so no more competition. And that is, I promised that to my wife.
What's your favourite ever event?
You can't. take out, I think, one event. Those events are the favorite events are the ones where something really happened to you. The events which were really eventful, that lots of things happened. And of course, I had plenty of them, but one which obviously stands out was Monte Carlo '85 when I got the 8-minute penalty in the middle of the event and was then 5 minutes behind Walter Röhl, and luckily, miraculously, stayed on the road and managed to win the event. Of course, it stands out. My first Paris-Dakar stands out. Why? Because that was my comeback to life, because I very nearly died in Argentina '85, and after 18 months of convalescence, I came back to a motorsport. I could not believe myself, because it was like coming back into life. Pikes Peak obviously stands out. Paris-Dakar is 13,000 kilometers, 3 weeks. Then you go to Pikes Peak with that incredible car, gravel road, no guardrails, and 20 kilometers, 10 minutes. Well, you name it.
For me personally, it's been fantastic. We've
Thank
met
you.
each other a few times, but to have a chat. Okay, you've done all the talking, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Keep
Thank
us.
you.
Keep us.
Thank you.